first of all, when you open it up, you guys will see this. You guys won't see all this stuff here, and that's okay. You're not supposed to see that. So what we're gonna do to get you started is going to File. Okay, we're just gonna ignore these create new file. I'm gonna go a long way just because I want to show you the shortcut. So the shortcut for anything, you guys will see it up here. So under your menu, so if you go File, New, you guys will see that the shortcut will be Command N on your keyboard. So what you guys have to do right away is mess around with commands, okay, right away. So we're gonna do that, Command N on your keyboard, and this will pop out. Once you guys do that, you guys can pick several things right here. Under recent, you guys might not see anything at the moment. So to get you started, you guys can pick mobile, web, print. Doesn't really matter that much what you guys pick at the moment, because you guys can always switch it around. You guys can always switch around the sizes as well. But just to get you started with this, we're going to start off with something for print, for example. So if I'm making something for print, I usually like to set things up in inches. So we're going to make something that's 17 by 11. Sounds good. One artboard is fine. We're going to add some bleed. So this is your standard bleed. If you're going to go and print this professionally, you do want some bleeds. And don't worry about the bleeds. They will not come out if you guys want to save this as a digital version. So let's just create this. Okay, the very first thing that I want to show you guys is how to zoom in and out, because that's your very basics. So on your keyboard, if you guys tap on Command minus, you guys can zoom out. Zoom in, Command plus. So you guys can do that. If you guys have a trackpad, you guys can pinch in and out. Alright, just like an iPhone, for example. If you guys have a mouse, an iMac, alright, you guys can just hold on to Option key on your keyboard, and then with your scroll, you guys can zoom in and out as well. So just check out what's more comfortable with you guys. I really like the trackpad when I'm zooming in and out. I just feel more control than the scrolling with my mouse. Anyways, whatever you guys want to do, just zoom out a little bit so we can see the whole artboard. So this is an artboard. If I want to see my artboard size, if I want to select my artboard, right here on the left hand side, I'm gonna see this. So let's just click on the artboard. So this is my artboard. So as long as you guys zoom out, you guys could copy this artboard out, okay? And to copy it out, you guys can just hold Option and then hold with your click, just drag it away. Alright, so as long as you guys press Option and then just drag the artboard, it's gonna create another one. If you guys want to delete an artboard, for example this one, I can just press delete. I can select this other one or this one and delete it, and then I can just keep one. I can also position the artboard wherever I want. Okay, as long as you guys have this artboard thing selected. Now, in order to get started with this whole tutorial, right here on the left hand side, you guys will see this selection tool. So you guys can press just V on your keyboard and it's gonna do that. Okay, and then you have this other tool that we're gonna get to in a second, but let's just do selection because that's the most that you're gonna use. So let's just zoom out and then we're gonna see our artboard. So with our selection tool, you guys can toggle between the selection tool plus this guy, alright? The right selection tool. There's differences you guys will see a little bit later on, but you can toggle between them between A and V. Okay, V on your keyboard and then A to toggle the other one. So those are the shortcuts for the two of them. So right up here, you guys will see Window, Workspace, and I want you guys to pick Essentials for now. It does depend what you guys are working on, and you guys can also make your own workspace if you guys want to. So you guys can make a new workspace once you guys clean this up. Workspace is just this. So if I toggle between workspaces, so if I go to painting, for example, it's gonna give me just different options. Obviously you guys can view all this stuff without going into workspaces, but they do help out with getting things organized since you guys can bring up so much information here. Alright. So let's get started. Let's just make a shape. So right here, if you right click on top of here, you guys are going to get these options. If you guys have a trackpad, you guys can just tap with 2 fingers and you guys will see this. That's your right click. If you guys don't have your right click activated on your Mac, I just want to quickly show you because a lot of people apparently don't know. But if you go to System Preferences, Mouse, you see this secondary click, that's your right click, okay? Alright, so let's just get back to this. Let's just select this guy, and we're just gonna make a rectangle. Then we're gonna select right here a selection tool. So I'm clicking on my selection tool, or I'm pressing V, and then right here I can mess around with the edges if I want them to be circular. So if you're making a button, for example, you want to make this like so. Okay, and then if you guys want to mess around with the fill inside of it, right here on the left hand side, you guys will see this. This would be the outline, this would be the fill. So I'm gonna zoom out so you guys can see what's happening. I'm gonna double click on the fill, and here are my colors. There's lots of ways to get to here. This is just one of them, okay? So I'm gonna just show you one of the ways. And we're gonna select, let's say, this color for now. Yeah, something like this. Press OK on it. There we go. Now I don't want an outline, so don't want to mess around with the outline. Just click on the outline. Right now it's black, and I don't like that outline. It's also called stroke, but I just like to refer to it as outline. And then if you guys pick none, there you go, no outline. I'm clicking on this again. There we go, so I have something nice and clean. Now let's say I want to put in some text. Right here's my text tool. Let me just click on here, and I'm gonna type in tech and design, YouTube. So to select that entire text, I can just press Command A. All right, I'm gonna go back to this tool, all right, selection tool, so that's a B. And what I want to do up here, you guys will see this character. I can just highlight that, or I can just go here and select other characters that I want. Okay, so you guys can pick whatever you guys want. I like to go through a lot of text, so that means that I like to highlight this, and just with my keyboard, my arrows, my up and down arrow, I can just go through these and pick whichever I want. What you guys can do as well is once you have this selected, just go over this, and then just with your arrows, keep clicking until you see some text that you like. So whatever font you guys pick, you guys can make it bigger. There's several ways, obviously, to make this bigger. What I like to do, and I think it's fastest, is just pressing Shift. Then with my mouse, I'm gonna drag this out, make it bigger. There we go. And since I know what font I want to use in this case, I'm just gonna type it up here. So this is the font that I want to use. There we go. And I'm gonna click in here, I'm gonna zoom out. I'm gonna pick my selection tool again. I'm gonna hold Shift, drag this out once again. I'm just gonna position this a little bit more here. Now as you guys can see, I'm making this button bigger, right? And I can make it bigger like here, longer or shorter and everything. But let's say you guys want to keep the ratio and make it bigger. Just hold Shift, and then see how the ratio stays. So you guys can do that as well. Again, there's various ways of doing this. I'm gonna fix this up a little bit. I'm gonna make this a tiny little bit bigger. You know what, I changed my mind. I want to make this, wait, so you can double click here. I can select my text to get another color. So again, I'm clicking down here, fill, to fill in my color for my text. Again, we can do this many ways. Right here on the side, you guys can also see these options. All right, and that's what I like about this view in Workspace Essentials versus Essentials Classic. Essentials Classic just shows you a little bit different things out, but I do like my workspace to be the Essentials. So up here, I also have some options. So I can center my text, for example. It's not gonna center, but it's centering the text itself. It's not centering within the artboard. Now, if I want to center things within the artboard, right here, you guys have your alignment tools. Let me just zoom in so you guys know what I'm talking about. Here are my alignment tools. So I can align everything inside the artboard to be centered. So I can center everything that I want using these tools up here. Okay, whether it's my shape, I can do that, or my text. Now let's say you guys don't see that up there, which you will. You guys can also go into window, and here, align. I can bring that out, and then align things. So that's the alignment of that. When we align text, it's a little bit different. Let's say I have a little bit more text. Let me just type something out. See how everything's aligned, centered? I can make it align, left aligned. So that's the difference. And this alignment's to align things within your artboard. Okay, so let me just get rid of this text. There we go. Let's just center this both ways. I can center it vertically and horizontally. I can just click up here to do that. So again, vertical alignment and horizontal alignment. That's very important, and one of the main questions I always get is how to do that. Now let's say your artboard, you change your mind, you don't want this size anymore. Well, we can just change it up. Right here with your artboard, just click on it, and then we're gonna make it just drag the top towards the bottom, drag this here, and there we go. Now in this case we would have to recenter everything, so we can just highlight everything and then just center it all again, and there we go. So these are the very basics. If you guys want to keep making shapes, here we go. There's various shapes that you guys can do. If you right click right here, you guys can pick already something rounded. So you guys could do a rounded rectangle right off the bat, so you guys don't have to mess around with that. Just make it black, and I can also mess with these points, make it more and more round. Now there's several shapes here that you guys can mess around with. Now let's say you guys want to make something a little bit more complicated, right? Maybe you're thinking of making a logo, and obviously it's going to be more complicated than just a square. So let's say your logo will look like, let's just make this a bit smaller. So I'm just pressing Shift, dragging that out. I'm gonna do the same thing here, Shift, I'm gonna drag this up to there. I'm gonna put this here. So this shape I already made, I'm just gonna make it black for now so you guys can see the contrast. There we go, I'm gonna get rid of this one so I can just pick the selection and then press delete, and that's how you delete any shape that you guys make. I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller. I'm gonna duplicate it by holding again Option, then dragging it out, Option, dragging it out. You guys can also duplicate this action. I'll show you that later on. For now, let's just do the basics. And what I want to do is take this shape and minus this shape. So I'll show you what I mean. So if you go to Pathfinder would be, let's just go into Windows, and then you guys can do Pathfinder. So here's Pathfinder. That's how it looks like, okay, under Window. And I also have it right here. So I want to show you that you're gonna be using Pathfinder a lot. So if I select this shape, so first of all, let me just select these three. I'm gonna group them. So that's Command G. That means if I click on one of them, I can just move all of them together. And they're all kind of like one at the moment. So if I select that plus my shape, and then if I put, well, I can put Unite, it's gonna put everything together, so I'll show you that. If I put Unite, see how it brought everything together. Let me just put it on the back, there we go. So it brought everything together. You guys could do that, sure. But I want to do something else, so Command Z to go back, Command Z to go back again. I'm gonna select these two guys again, and what I want to do is minus front. So these lines are in the front, you see that? So now my shape, see the white? It's not actual white, it's whatever's on my background. I'm gonna bring this to my back. So if you guys want to arrange things, so right now you guys looked at my text, it disappeared, right? So what I want to do is bring this back. So that way my text is in front. There's shortcuts, obviously, I always use my shortcuts. So what you guys can do is toggle between your shortcuts, just press Command Shift, okay, and on your keyboard, you guys will see the commands right now on my screen. You guys can do this or that and bring it back and forth, okay? So let's just zoom out a little bit. So this is something that you guys are going to be using a lot once you're getting down to making more and more complicated stuff. You guys will be using Pathfinder like crazy. Masking, that's something that we're gonna get through later on. Masking, it's not my favorite because it can get complicated and a lot of clicking. I think Pathfinder you guys will use more when you're getting down into shapes and making more and more logos, or just making illustrations in general. So let's say you guys are done with your artboard, you want to export this, maybe make this a poster, maybe you want to put it on your website, whatever you guys want to do, you guys can just go into right here, export, and there's many ways to export this. So it depends what you guys want to export it as. If you guys want it for web or for print, so for print you guys see this red line right here, that is my bleed. So if you guys had a background color to this, you want that to reach your bleed. So let's just make a background color so you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna make another shape right here until the bleed. I'm gonna fill that in with some dark gray. I'm gonna send it back by just pressing Command Shift, and there we go. Okay, so there's my bleed. So let's say I want this to be a poster. Well, then I would want to export it like so. So if I go to export, export as. If you guys want to send this out to a client, for example, usually I wouldn't recommend PNG. Sometimes they do ask for PNGs or JPEGs, so here you go, this is where you would do it from. However, I would recommend always exporting as a PDF. Okay, so to export a PDF, just put save as. So again, file. All I'm going is to file again and again. Save as. Under save as, down here below, you guys can see format. So let me zoom in again. So format, you guys can use PDF. Okay, so let's say we're sending this as a proof. So let's just title it test for now. We're gonna click on save. Once we save it, you guys will see these options. So again, if this is for a website, you want to proof this thing, you want it to be small so your clients can see it right away, just select smallest file size. So that's right here. Under smallest file size, I want you guys to go into compression. Under compression, I never tell you guys to put low, always put maximum. Image quality, maximum as well. Marks and bleeds, you guys actually don't need any marks and bleeds since this would be a proof for a client. Usually they get confused if you send them something with trim marks or any color bars or anything additional that's for printing, so never send out like that. Other than that, just put save PDF, save PDF. It's gonna save our PDF. Then that's saved right here, so you guys can view your PDF. If you guys want to save it like something else, like I told you guys could do it JPEG, PNG, and again, there's various ways that you guys can export this, and I suggest going into it and seeing what you guys want exactly. A lot of you will also want to make stuff for your website, so that means save for web would be something that you would want to do. So let's just click on there, and you guys are gonna see this. So save for web, if it's something that we want to export as a PNG, JPEG, or anything else like that, we can pick from here. Alright, so let's say PNG, which would be the best. From here you guys can mess around with the pixels and how big this artboard actually is. If you guys are seeing problems with your artboard, just make sure that you're exporting everything that's within your artboard. So just make sure you have this check mark right there. You guys should be good to go. From there, this will be pretty small, so that's 8 kilobytes. That's really nothing. We can just press save and then just press save again. So if I go over to my documents, I will be able to see this PNG. That's a test. One more note just before we end this tutorial is to make sure under effects, document, raster effects, you guys should always make sure that you're at the highest. Or if it's something for screen, sure it can be 150, that's okay. And if it's something for screen, for sure you guys don't want it to be CMYK or anything like that. CMYK is for print, and we started this as a poster. That's why we have this CMYK. What you guys want for posters obviously will be CMYK and will be 300 always. But if you guys want this for screen, let's just cancel this we're gonna go into File again. Under File, you guys will see Document Setup. Under Document Setup, I want you guys to turn this preset into high resolution, so you guys have that always. And also, under color mode, I want you guys to turn this into RGB. If this is something for your screen, for websites or something like that, you guys want it to be RGB. So we're gonna turn that to RGB. We're gonna go back into Effects. We're gonna go into Document, Raster Effects. And right now you guys can see that it's RGB. And at this point, we don't really need it to be 300. You can. 150 is my suggestion. The minimum would be 72. 72 is okay for most screens. However, now with high def screens, you guys probably want it to 150. So let's just click that and then save your document as a PDF. Anyways, that's it for this tutorial. Hopefully got you started a little bit with some of the tools. I can't go over all the tools, but I will be going over each one of them over a series of tutorials.